the Kahoot game is about Japan and its culture. So hope you will like it. So let me start and get your phone ready so we can start playing. Can everyone see my screen? The Kahoot screen? Thank you.
Yes.
I'm sorry there won't be any gift because normally if I visit everyone in person, I can be able to give you a prize if you win the game. But I'm sorry, I can just clap my hands for you.
You know what? I'm happy to donate small gift. Let's say $15 gift card for the winner.
Thank you so much, Sensei. Yeah. So
and I'm gonna win. Then I'm gonna win. But the winner gets a $15 gift card. The top winner.
That's really nice. Right, yeah, okay, then let's get started. Yes, there'll be 9 questions. So the first question is, how many prefectures are there in Japan? Oh, none of you got it correct. So there's 47 prefectures in Japan. Oh, none of you got it correct. Yes, so prefectures is like state in the US. How many states are there in the US? Can anyone help me with that question? Yeah, so that I know that there are 50 states, right, in the US, and in Japan there are 47 prefectures. Yeah, so good luck with the next question. Which area in Tokyo has the world's busiest and biggest pedestrian crossing? It's going to be a video. Oh wow, I think everyone got it correct. Yeah, so the video you just saw is Shibuya. So Shibuya is one of the world's busiest crossing, and it's one of the popular districts in Tokyo, and it's the must visit spot for tourists in Japan. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about Shibuya later. Yeah, because our campus is very close to this station. Yeah. Dariana is now number 1. What do Japanese people often say before eating? Oh, you got it correct. Yes. So if you're studying Japanese, of course you have heard this sentence. So before eating, Japanese people often put their hands together and say "itadakimasu." Yeah. So Dariana is still number 1. Next. There's a point. How many flavors of Kit Kat are there in Japan so far? Yes. So there are 350, like nearly 400 flavors of Kit Kat already. So, and actually Japanese are very creative when it comes to, flavors, like not just Kit Kat, but also Haagen-Dazs ice creams. And every season they comes up with the new flavors. For example, now it's autumn in Japan, so they have like chestnut flavors, they have like pumpkin flavors. So very, very creative. For example, when it comes to sakura season, they're going to be like sakura flavors, something like that. And not just every season, but also like many prefectures in Japan. Some prefectures have their own flavors. Yeah, so many. And of course, the number will keep increasing. If I come back next year, maybe it's 450 flavors. Yeah. So Nagano Sensei now is number 1. When was the first Tokyo Olympics held? Oh, no one got it correct. Yes. So the first Tokyo Olympic was held back in 1964, and the second, this is the first Summer Olympics, yeah, and the second one was just held this year, yeah, in July. Yes. So let's see. Oh, it's Sensei is still number one. Next question. What is the average price of Rando Civic backpack? Yeah, this is the average Rando Civic backpack. Hmm. Yes. So if you watch animes or if you watch any Japanese movies, you're gonna see this backpack show up a lot. So this is called Rando Civic. So the average price is about 500 US dollars. Yeah, it's very expensive because it's often handmade, made of leathers, and students often use it for over 6 years for their elementary school, and they often receive it as a gift from grandparents or from parents when they enter first grade. Yeah, so it's very expensive, but of course at the same time it's very durable. Yeah. Ooh, let's see a change here. Melanie, which is bigger surface-wise, California or Japan? Yes, California is bigger than Japan, surface-wise. Yes, but the population of Japan is 3 times more than California's. I think California's population is about 40 million, 40 millions, and Japanese population is more than 120 millions. Yeah, so very small country, but very, very crowded. Yes, especially in Tokyo, it's super crowded. What is the Japanese art form of arranging flowers? Yes, it's called ikebana. Yes, so this art form of arranging flowers is called ikebana, but origami is like folding papers. Bonsai is like small trees, small plants, and sado is a tea ceremony. Yes. Oh, Melanie, you're on fire. Last question. Which one is not a Japanese national holiday? Oh, one that got it correct. Yes. So the only one is not a Japanese national holiday is Kimono Day. I don't think there's such day in Japan. But yeah, we have Children's Day. We have Marine's Day. Umi no Hi. We have Mountain Days, which is Yama no Hi. So yeah, so there are many randoms, national holidays in Japan, and it's like you get a day off, which is great. Yeah. So I think Japan is one of the countries that have the most national holidays in the world. Yeah. Let's see. Jose, congratulations. Kayleen, congrats. And Melanie, omedetou gozaimasu. I think you just won $15 gift card. So thank you so much. And I hope you enjoy the game. Yeah, let me start sharing my presentation. Yeah. Yes, so thank you so much. Hello from Tokyo. Yes. So thank you so much for joining the game. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something about Japan. So yeah, so I'm from Temple University Japan campus, called TUJ for short. TUJ is the international branch campus of Temple University main campus in Philadelphia. It is one of the largest public research universities in the US, and it's the biggest school in Philly. Yes. Raise your hand if you have heard of Temple University before. I think I don't know if there's a raise hand function. Yeah, but yeah, so Temple is very famous, especially in the East Coast. And we're branch campus in Tokyo, Japan. So Temple has 3 campuses in the world. The main campus is in the US and 2 branch campuses in Rome, Italy and Tokyo, Japan. And because we're the same school, it's very easy for students to transfer among 3 campuses. From Japan campus, you can easily transfer to our main campus in the US anytime to finish the degree, or you can just go to, oh, Scott is here. Thank you so much, Scott. You have to wake up so early. It's 5 a.m.
Yeah,
here in Tokyo. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I'll get back to you later. I will just continue with my presentation. Yes, so we have 3 campuses. So from Japan campus, you can easily transfer to the US campus or go to Rome campus for 1 or 2 semesters. But most of our students spend all 4 years or 2 years at our Japan campus and graduate from here. Yeah. We offer 10 majors in liberal arts field. Please look at the screen for the list of majors we offer. The most popular majors are international business studies, communication studies, art, international affairs, just to name a few. We also offer the 2+2 computer science program, but it's not really recommended for transfer students because you have to spend 2 years here in Tokyo and the last 2 years in Philly. But in that case, you may wish to consider applying directly to our main campus in the US if you wish to study computer science. Yeah. And of course, you can do major, double major, you can do major minor. You can see the list of minor here. And also the major with the asterisk next to it, you can also choose them as a minor. Yeah. And all classes here are in English. You don't need to know any Japanese to apply. Yeah, but of course, I know that some of you are studying Japanese, so it's always good to be well prepared because outside of TJ, you still need to go shopping or go traveling. So it's always good to be well prepared for the life here in Japan. Yeah. Our campus is located in an area called Sangenjaya in Tokyo. So our Japan campus was founded in 1982. We have been here for nearly 40 years, but we just moved to this brand new campus 2 years ago. Yeah, so everything is brand new. I'm going to show you some of the photos of our campus. Yeah, so just a very small campus here in Japan. Yeah, so this is our campus. And we were built on a Japanese university campus called Showa Women University. So it's on this side of the photo. Yeah, so you just need to cross the street and you can TJ students can use some of the facilities offered by Showa, like cafeteria, library, gym, and swimming pool. Yeah. Yes, and this is TJ. This is Shibuya Station that I showed you in the Kahoot game. So TJ is just a 5-10 minutes train ride away from Shibuya Station. It's a very, very good location. So Shibuya, as you see in the video, is one of the world's busiest crossing, and it's very fun, it's very vibrant and very lively. And our students really enjoy the campus location because after school they can just be in Shibuya after a short train ride, and there are just so many fun things to do there. Yeah, and if you're really interested in urban campus setting, then welcome. I hope you will consider TJ. Yeah. So next, I would like to talk about what TJ has to offer. So although we're located in Tokyo, but the degree and credits you'll be earning will be American degree and American credits. They are the same degree that students in Philadelphia earn. You're gonna get the same here in Japan. On the degree when you graduate, it won't even say Japan campus. It will just be Temple University degree. Yeah, so exactly the same degree. The only difference is that you do it in Tokyo, Japan. And if you have AP, IB, or if you have college credits from LaGuardia, they are transferred to Temple, which helps you save time, money, and efforts. Yeah, so you don't need to repeat some of those courses here. And we're just a small campus, about 1,300 students. So it's very small compared to our main campus in the US, where there are 40,000 students. But it's just a small community where everyone knows each other. So students have more interactions with the classmates, with professors. So the faculty members here will get to know students very well. Yeah, so that's the benefit of a small campus. So 40% of our students are from the US, 40% from Japan, and the rest are from 60 other countries. But it's just based on passport. It can be more diverse than that because we have a lot of students with international background or with a dual citizenship. Yeah. And the same thing applies to the faculty members. The professors are from all over the world, having international experience in their fields. We also sometimes have professors from the main campus coming to teach at TUJ. Yeah. And every semester we welcome a number of students from the US, especially from the East Coast. They are like you, graduating from high school or from a 2-year college in the US and then coming to TJ to earn the degree. And one of the students here is Scott. He transferred, I think, 2 years ago, right, Scott? You came to TJ 2 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think Scott is the second student from LaGuardia transferring to TJ, and I think this spring we are hoping to welcome Omotola, also a current LaGuardia students coming to TJ. Yeah, if things go well. Yeah, so hopefully she will be the third student from LaGuardia here at TJ. Yeah. So so and also in terms of tuition fee, TJ's tuition fee is about $15,000 per year. So it's quite affordable for an American education. So it's even cheaper for you to study abroad in Japan than going out of states. Yeah, because I think that if you go to our main campus in the US, in Pennsylvania, you're gonna pay out of state tuition, but at TJ you're gonna pay a much lower tuition fee, and you can still get the same degree, same American degree. Yeah. So the question is, why not? And of course, you can use financial aid. You can use GI Bill if you have the benefits, or private loans. Yeah. And we also offer merit-based scholarships, which are very easy to apply. Yeah. So the biggest one we offer is called Diamond Scholarship. So it covers 50% the first year's tuition, and then if you do well at TJ, you can get it renewed at 100% for the rest of the time. Yeah. If you wish to apply for next fall, I'm sorry, the deadline for this Diamond Scholarship already passed, which is October 15th. But don't worry, because we still have the 2 other scholarships called Dean Scholarship and TJ Scholarship. And the deadline is March 1st if you apply for 2022. The information for the scholarship is listed here. Yes. And don't worry if you don't get any of this, because you can always apply for scholarships later as continuing students when you enrolled here at TJ. So don't give up, because there's still a lot of chances to get scholarships later. Yeah. And I think Omotola get one of this scholarship, I think Dean Scholarship. Yeah. She won a scholarship to come here. Yeah. And we look at it in Tokyo. And as you know, Tokyo is the biggest city in Japan, the most developed in Asia. Tokyo is where jobs are. It's like New York City in the US, right? It's home to many big corporations, many NGOs, embassies, etc. So many international students will work part-time to finance themselves, and they're allowed to work up to 28 hours per week. For international students who cannot really speak Japanese much and who are native English speakers, they often choose to become English tutors or English teachers here in Japan. And I think it's quite well paid for a part-time job compared to other jobs here in Japan. Yeah, but once you get to know some Japanese, there'll be more choices when it comes to jobs. For example, you can work in a company, which is convenience store. You can work in a clothing stores, in a restaurant, etc. Yeah. And also there are a number of on-campus jobs for students. Yeah, like for example, you can work for IT help desk. You can work for library, for admissions counseling office. Yeah, so there's some positions. And talking about jobs, we have the Career Development Office to help students find jobs in Japan or even back in their home countries. Especially if you go back to the US, you can still use the resources and services offered by the Career Development Office at our main campus in Philly, because wherever you are, as long as once you're a Temple student, you can get support. Yeah. And internship is a distinctive feature of our school. For some majors like business, international affairs, and psychological studies, internship is required, and it's credit-bearing internship. you can see the list of companies here that have recruited our students for the internship program. Yeah. So like every semester we host info session on the internship at the US Embassy in Tokyo, for example, or we also send students to the Japan Times, which is the biggest English-speaking newspaper in Japan. Yeah. This is Erika. She majored in international affairs and she did 2 internships. One was at Embassy of Afghanistan in Tokyo, and the other was at the Canadian Chamber of Commerce in Japan. So they are all credit-bearing internship, and students often do it during their 3rd and their 4th year. Yeah. So I think it's going to be a really good experience. And besides, we also offer career fairs. This is one of the career fairs we co-hosted with Sophia University in Tokyo, and it's for English speakers. Yeah. So if you're really interested in working in Japan after graduation, our career development office will help you find jobs here in Japan. And actually, many international students will try to stay in Japan after graduation because I think they think that having working experience overseas will be very helpful for their career prospect. And as a result, our employment rate is 97%. Yeah. So this is Isadora. She's just graduated this year. She's majored in Asian studies, and she's now working at Amazon Japan. Yeah. So she's one of the graduates who successfully found jobs in Japan. But even if the idea of working in Japan after graduation is too much for you, and if you wish to go back to your home countries, I think with the tempo and with American degree and with the international experience of living and working in Japan, there will be a lot of career opportunities for you. Yeah. For example, this is James. He graduated 5 years ago, and right after graduation, he moved back to the US, and now he's working as a project manager at Bandai Namco in California. So for those who don't know, Bandai Namco is one of the biggest Japanese game developers and entertainment companies in Japan. They're huge. They are very famous for the classic game Pac-Man. I'm sure everyone knows that game. And yeah, Bandai Namco is huge in gaming industry, and James is now working there. So those are the 2 examples of students who successfully found jobs wherever they are with a tempo degree and with the international experience of studying here in Japan. Yeah. So next, how to apply. So we have 3 semesters per year, fall, spring, and summer. You can apply anytime, but of course it's recommended that you apply, you complete your associate degree first at LaGuardia and then apply to transfer. And the scholarship deadline is earlier than the final deadline, as you can see here. Yes. So this is the list of documents we require. So we need your online application form, your personal statement talking about yourself or your career prospect, your future goals, or why you're interested in Japan. In terms of test score, it's optional for native English speakers. But if you are non-native English speakers, you are still required to submit an English test score like TOEFL, IELTS, or PTE, or Duolingo. But if you have SAT or ACT, you can also submit that instead. And then we require your official transcript and an application fee of about $97 US. Yeah. So after you submit everything, the result will be sent to you within 4 weeks. It is very straightforward and very simple. Yeah, we'll be guiding you through the application process. But since you'll be applying as transfer students, you may be able to get some waivers. So for test score, for native English speakers, it's optional for you anyway, so you don't need to worry about it. But for non-native English speakers, if you have completed English composition with a grade of C or above at LaGuardia or at any other college, the test score will be waived for you. Yeah? And for high school transcript, if you have completed at least 30 college level semester credits, the high school transcript will be waived for you. Yeah. So my advice for you is that when you apply, please send your college transcript first, so we will be able to confirm the waivers. Yeah. Yes. So, and if you wish to apply for next fall, the Diamond Scholarship deadline already passed, but the next scholarship deadline is March 1st, and the final deadline is May 15th. And if you do not have a Japanese passport or a valid visa to stay in Japan, you also need to go through the visa application process, and we will sponsor your visa to come here and study with us. And please note that there's a deadline of 5 a.m. Japan time, because Japan at the moment is 14 hours ahead of the East Coast. So keep that in mind to make sure that you won't miss the deadline. Yeah. Yes, so that's all about TJ and the application process. I'm sure if there's Scott here, so he can share his experience as a student here at TJ and live his life in Japan. And also you can always reach out to us later at this email address here, ac@tj.temple.edu. And don't forget to follow us on our social media because there's so many fun videos, especially on TikTok and Instagram. Yeah. So thank you so much for listening to the presentation, and I hope you continue to stay safe and healthy, and I hope to see you in Tokyo one day. Thank you so much.
So thank you. I think, Scott, do you want to talk about your experience before Q&A, unless someone has questions?
Yeah, do any of you guys have questions? I can hopefully answer them.
Yeah, so if you have questions, you can just unmute or write in chat. How's your life in Tokyo?
Me?
No, to Scott, I'm sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, Scott, how's everything going?
Fast, really fast. I know Kaylin just asked me a question too, so I can answer that like in the same breath. But I adjusted by it because when I was at LaGuardia, yes, well, kind of, sort of, but I took the Japanese program at LaGuardia before I transferred, so I was like a little keen on the language, not like as good as I wouldn't say I'm good now, but I got better when I got here because I'm still continuing with the Japanese because that's my major. So it wasn't too hard for me to adjust, maybe for just like, the time difference and the jet lag and things like that when I first got here. But other than that, I was super excited. So, and it is like how I said, it's a kind of like New York, just, cleaner and, better subway, things like that. But it's really fun. I enjoy it. The time here goes really, really quick because I graduate next semester. At least I'm on track to. And also, as far as job goes, you can if you try, you can find jobs as well. The school does help you out with that. I actually did just get an offer today for like a gaming company, so I have to reply back to it.
おめでとうございます。
ありがとうございます. And yeah, so I guess being in Tokyo, it's like it's really cool. I don't have any bad things to say. It's Tokyo, and I'm a big fan of anime and things like that myself and video games. So it's kind of like right where I want to be. I want to stay here once I graduate. Also, the food is delicious. I saw food and I was just like, yeah, food is. I wasn't gonna miss that at all, but the food is amazing too. There's all sorts of food here. I haven't tried anything crazy. I tried natto. It's not fun. I'll tell you that. I don't know if food is fun or if it can be fun, but I tried it. And it was something. Do you live on campus? I do not live on campus. You can't technically live on campus, but the school does help with like finding rooms nearby campus that you can live by. I think how it goes for me, how it went was I lived in the dorms. They provide you with dorms for like your first semester, and afterwards you have the choice to either stay in the dorms, dorms are kind of there's two separate dorms. There's the Musashi Kosugi dorm. Yes, I stayed in that one, which is maybe 40 minutes away from the school. It's a good train ride. It's a nice dorm. That's exactly how the rooms look. So that is not a lie. Believe everything she said. It looks exactly like that. So that's how the dorms are. And after that first semester, you can, go out and find your own room if you would like, or you can choose to stay there. There's also other students from other schools there, so that's a plus about the Musashi Kosugi dorm because you'll meet students, Japanese students from other schools like Aoyama Gakuin, and I think there's another school that might go there too. I'm not sure if Showa goes there, but there will be other Japanese students there. And there's also other international students as well that may go to another school also. So you'll meet a lot of people for that first semester, like a lot. At first, as far as school schedule goes, you gotta memorize your classes and things like that, and then also you gotta like get to know like how to get to school because there's multiple ways. Like with the subway system, there's like there's many ways to get to the school. There's many train lines that kind of stop by the same place, so it's a little confusing at first. But once you get your route down and you know what train you want to take, and the school also helps with that as well, and also other students you might have classes with because you'll have some that'll stay at the dorm with you. You can just like go yourself and you'll be fine in like the first 2 weeks maybe.
I have the same question, but did you feel get lost like psychologically? Like, did you feel homesickness?
Oh no, not at all.
No,
I didn't
no.
at all. I was so happy to be here. I was excited for like everything that I was gonna do. And
Oh,
sometimes I would purposely just get lost just to like explore other areas and things like that. Because I know you have the popular areas like Shibuya and Shinjuku and things like that. But then to just like be somewhere you haven't like lived before or something like that, you just kind of just you want to get lost because you'll just like run into other places and probably meet somebody and things like that that you just haven't like done before. So I liked it. Even if I got lost, I wasn't really lost. I was just excited.
Yeah, I have a question for you, Scott, because you came to Japan in 2019, right before COVID, a few months right before COVID, and then COVID hit, and then how did it affect you? Because some, like there's a period of time that there's lockdown in Japan. You can't go. I mean, like you still could go out, right? But I mean, like no social, social gatherings and stuff like that. How did it affect you?
That was a big bummer, honestly. That sucked, unfortunately. But we all had to do it and you had to get through it together. So it was pretty rough. We couldn't really go out. There was a curfew, so we couldn't really go out much. Also, again, I like to play video games, watch anime. So when it happened, I was kind of just like, okay, I'll just stay inside and play games or watch anime or something like that. And I did that most of the time. Um, Also, during that time, yeah, we couldn't go out much. The school, all classes switched to online. So there was like a lot of doing Zoom. So that was a bummer too. There was like a long period of time, it was like you couldn't see other people, like the friends you make at school, you probably didn't see them for a while. And unfortunately, some students who were like go home, because I know a few who did go home during the pandemic, they had like a hard time coming back. So don't, that's my advice. If there's, hopefully there's not another pandemic, but if there is, don't just like stay here if you can, if you do decide to come, because it's going to be a big hassle because there's like a lot of students who had a really, really hard time coming back and had to miss a semester and things like that. For me, I just stayed here. So I haven't been home since I've come here. And that doesn't bother me because if I did go back home, I probably would have got put in a situation like that as well, where I probably couldn't come back or had to miss a semester. So it was really rough.
it's hard to tell, but it was rough here too. Like many students who transferred to U.S. institutions had to take classes online. Many of them haven't visited the campus yet, like even now. So yeah, it's not the easiest time for everybody everywhere.
Yeah,
And there's another question. Sorry, Ross asks a question.
is there an advice I get to my past self? No, not. Oh, actually, there's no advice for me. Honestly, I'm sorry, but it's just for me because of how I am. I guess when I first transferred, I was in a real rush because I transferred for the fall semester, and I graduated from LaGuardia in like I think August or late July. So I only had about like 3 weeks to get like the application and get my stuff packed, and like I was rushing to do everything, and somehow I did it. I have no idea how, but it kind of went through okay. As far as getting prepared, just I guess once you get the instructions to do it, just knock it out as quick as you can. Because that's pretty much what I did. It was really just like 3 weeks, and luckily I had like some family members help me out with like getting some stuff together while I had to go get my passport and things like that ready. But I tried to knock it out as quick as possible, and then I just like went with it. I Planning for me is like really hard, and normally when I plan things, it doesn't work out. So in this case, it was kind of working in my favor where I just had to like, don't think, just hurry up and do it and just do the instructions and do what you can to like make the deadline. And that's kind of what I did. So I guess my advice would be just to like, don't slack and don't procrastinate. And then, once you have like your instructions on what to do, and if you make up your mind and make your decision, just go for it and like don't look back. Don't feel nervous about anything. Just be confident in yourself and just go forth.
Can I ask you a question? What's your future plan right now? Are you planning to stay after graduation, or you're planning to come back, or it's still up in the air?
Um, I when I first got here and I found out like I accepted and things like that, I already decided then that I just wanted to stay here. So I'm still like planning to just stay here. I still have stuff home though, so I have to like come back and like get like some other clothes and things like that my family members are like holding for me. And because of COVID, that kind of like screwed up my schedule on what I want to do because I know traveling might be like an issue still. So I still don't want to like risk going back and then have something happen. So I'm just like, I'm telling my family, just please hold the stuff for now until like the world gets better. And then I'll just come back and get it. But I'm still planning on staying here. And since I also just got the job offer, I kind of don't want to like up and leave to go back to the US because I don't know if they'll like let me or how long they might give me. I haven't really asked them about that yet. I still have to reply. Like the email just came today. So I have to I'm just gonna like stay here and hopefully just try out here forever.
How does it work for the other people from the US? Like, do they also have like options to stay, or like career wise, are you like kind of exceptional to stay in Japan, or they have many different options if they're from the American students?
There's a lot of options actually. Like I know I saw the slide about Isadora. I knew her too. I met her because before she graduated, and we got to know each other a bit. So I don't know. I'm not sure what she's doing, but I know her and another student. They're still both here working in Japan once they graduated. But when I spoke to them at the time, they weren't sure what they wanted to do. They were like, "I'm going to find out and wait. If I get a job here, and if not, then I might go somewhere else or something like that." And luckily, they both got jobs here. For other students, you have the choice. Like if you graduate and you want to go back home, then you can go. I guess. I mean, there's nothing to stop you. There's also the school also has like a study abroad program also. So like if you do come here and you get accepted, you can still like study abroad for a semester and go like somewhere else, either to main campus or to like I think there's one in Rome, and then I
Yeah,
think there's a third place also. I'm not sure.
many countries they
But
can go to, like the UK, or, Taiwan,
yeah,
South Korea, for example.
yeah, and you can do that as well. But for me, I didn't do none of those because I just wanted to stay here, so I did. And this yeah, I've never I also never been to main campus. I know everyone here is from LaGuardia, correct? I'm pretty sure. And yeah, so you can also go to main campus in Philadelphia as well. And but I didn't do that either. And yeah, so it's a lot of options. There's also as far as jobs out here, you can try and apply for like Japanese companies, and or if you have like a different degree and your Japanese may not be so good or something like that. There's also like international companies here as well. You can do that. You can also they also have school positions. You can apply for that. For like if you to work like part time at the school, so that way you can be in school, do your classes, and also be in school and work. Kind of makes things a little bit easier than having to like transfer to like a outside job if you want to do that as well. So there's a ton of options.
I guess like, oh, there you go. There's another question.
Yeah, sorry, Dariana, we don't offer any health majors at like nursing or vet tech here at Temple, Japan. But I believe that our main campus in Philadelphia offers, because they have like nearly 200 programs. But the majors that I show you, I'm just gonna go back to the slide of major. You can see the list of majors here. Yeah. So Scott, I have maybe the last question for you. But like you used to live in New York, which is one of the most expensive places in the world, and Tokyo is also like one of the most expensive cities. How do you think about the living cost here in Japan, in Tokyo?
For I guess for anyone who's like who's a New York native, you probably won't have much of a if you're good with your finances and your money, I'll say that first. You probably won't have much of an issue. So like for me, a lot of people was telling me, "Oh, Japan is so expensive. It's hard to pay for a lot of things." But for me, I kind of saw it as just being in New York, and it was kind of like the same, except for getting used to like the yen amount and things like that. So for me, it's not that expensive. It's like I'm just like used to it. So I kind of just live my life. I won't say frugally, but I'm cautious about just like going crazy and spending money. There's a lot of students who come here, then they just like, you know, they eyes light up and like they see all of Japan. It's like, oh, I gotta do everything, and then they just go take my money, just pay and buy things and everything like that. But I would say be really, really cautious about that because also like the 100 yen coins, they're like dollars pretty much. But some people who came here were spending them like they were quarters. So just be careful about that because they look like quarters. So next thing you know, you spent like 10, $15 to try and get like a figure out the gotcha machine, and it's like, mistakes were made. So just be careful about that.
Yeah, I agree with you, Scott. Yeah, I'm also a foreigner living in Tokyo. And yeah, so before I moved here, people often say that Tokyo is so expensive. But actually, maybe it's true 10, 20 years ago when Tokyo is one of it's the most expensive in the world. But, like economy in Japan, like, they don't even have inflation. It's deflation here. So like the price don't change much through the years. So the price you paid like maybe 10 years ago, maybe still the same. And especially food and eating out in Japan is quite affordable compared in the US, to be honest. You can eat out, but you won't, it won't make you broke. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say like, I guess in terms of things that may cost a lot, it's like, it's also depends on where you choose to live. I know because it's like the more in the city you are, the more expensive it'll be. Well, I guess that's kind of like New York too. Like if you live in Manhattan, it's going to cost like a lot in comparison to like living like somewhere in like Queens or somewhere further from the city. It's kind of like that here as well. So there's also that to be worried about. But I think here it's more of maybe. Uh, I guess it's kind of the same. Yeah. Like if you live out of the city, it'd be like cheaper. Then it's also like you can also do like you don't have to get your own place. Again, you can choose to like stay in the dorms, or if you do get your own place, they also have share houses to where you can if you make a best friend, you can choose to like live together and have things be cheap as well. So there's also that option also. So there's also more options in terms of like how you want to live and where you want to live that may influence how expensive things may be. But as far as food goes, that's also cheap too.
Is there any other questions? Or if not, I guess we can give extra sleeping time for Scott, who woke up like 5 o'clock in the morning. We really appreciate that you're doing this for us because I know it's not the best time for you guys.
Oh yeah, I've been planning to actually come to one for like a while now, but what happened was I kept getting confused on the days because I keep like I'm like in the future or whatever. So like the dates kept messing me up, and I would just wake up on my day would happen where it would like technically already happened with back there in New York. So I'm glad I finally got to make it.
Yeah, thank you so much. So yeah, let's thank Han and Scott. And so if anyone has questions, you can reach out to me, or you have an email address for her, and then I'm pretty sure Scott is willing to share his experience as well. His Facebook is dangerous, so don't look at that. He does a lot of crazy things in Japan, so I don't encourage anyone to be friend on the Facebook, but no, he just kidding. He has a lot of great friends, and you see a lot of interesting things too. So I encourage you to connect each other if you're interested. Okay, so thank you so much, Scott. And
I also still get the Japan Club emails, so
oh, you do
I'm
still.
familiar with Kaylin Martin already. So I think she's the head of the
Japan
Japanese
Club now.
Japan Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am the president for the Japan Club.
So yeah, I see a lot of those emails still. So if you have any questions, you can actually just like go to Kaylin and probably just like send an email or something. I'll get it. Or I can like put my Facebook is like my name here, Scott Hill. It's just
Okay. So thank you so much, and yeah, I hope that you're interested in applying. I definitely encourage, and if you have questions, reach out to any of us, and that's the first process, and that's how you Scott started as well. So thank you again for your time. Yep. And
thank you so much, Sensei.
Yep. Bye.
Yeah, and thank you everyone for joining, and thank you Scott so much for joining. It's so helpful.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Have a good day there. Bye.